You came to the right place. Hi, hello, and welcome back to a little bit of everything with lava. Today's video is going to be how to public speak without looking weak. Now, that was corny as hell, but you still accepted it because I said it with confidence. Or you didn't accept it and you're about to click off this video. But anyways, the key to public speaking is confidence. You could write the most amazing speech ever, but the way you deliver it can make people not want to listen to you. But at the same time, you could write a mediocre speech, but you being on stage, acting confident, making eye contact with the audience will automatically make people want to look at you. So, I'm gonna tell you how you can get there. Number 1, figure out your audience. Delivering the wrong speech to the wrong set of people will always end up horrible. You're gonna be talking and they're just gonna look at you like, and it'll make you extremely nervous. So before you even write your speech, think about who you're going to be presenting it to and what kind of style they'd appreciate the most. Number 2, write a speech you're proud of. If you do not like your speech or care about the topic that you're talking about, it'll show right through you. There's just a natural passion in your voice when you talk about things that you actually care about. So make things easy for yourself and don't pretend to be someone else in your speech. Number 3, watch people whose style you like. Oftentimes before doing my speeches for school, I would watch either Liza Koshy or Lily sing because I felt like my style was a mix of both of their styles, and they both kind of just taught me how to be more expressive when I speak. The more you watch someone, the more you'll start acting and talking like them. If you need to make a more formal presentation, then watch YouTubers that talk more formally, and the style will come to you before you know it. Number 4, take inspiration, don't copy someone else. After watching people you enjoy, don't just straight up copy them. Observe their body language and the way they talk, and then incorporate that into what you already naturally do. Because if you try to be someone else, why would people want to watch you instead of actually watching the real person? And as much as you have to be a certain way to please certain audiences, don't lose your individuality when doing so. You can always put your own twist on things, even when you're trying to be a certain way to please certain people. Number 5, use words and phrases that come easy to you. Yeah, this won't always be possible, but when you can, stick to saying things that you normally say. When you're not comfortable saying something, people will catch on. I remember for my grade 7 speech arts, I used the word bruh in my speech, and it was not part of my vocabulary at all, and it was just so bad. Like, I swear I heard people whispering in the audience when I was doing that, so don't do that. Making your speech in the way that you normally talk will also make it a lot easier for you to memorize it. Speaking of which, number 6, memorize your speech like the back of your hand. I don't really know the back of my hand, but you get my point. In my opinion, it's much easier to mess up when you're reading something straight off of a piece of paper than if you have it memorized properly. The most you should carry on stage with you are cue cards with a few points. Never take the entire speech with you on stage. You look unprepared, and it also makes it much harder for you to engage with your audience if you're too busy reading. Number 7, practice everywhere. Once you have your speech somewhat memorized, practice it everywhere, meaning like everywhere. I would usually practice on the toilet, in the shower, in bed as I fall asleep. This just makes you comfortable with reciting the speech in different locations, because if you only practice in your room, the moment you're placed outside your room, you're gonna get a little confused and it won't feel as natural saying the speech anymore. Number 8, practice with distractions. My brother does this thing where he acts like a tough crowd and yells random things and makes faces and tries to make me laugh. Saying your speech in front of a mirror versus in front of an actual person with real reactions are two completely different things. The more you're able to get through your entire speech with several distractions, the less likely it is for anything to make you mess up on stage. Number 9, record yourself. Sometimes our bodies do things that we're completely unaware of, or we're just not as expressive as we think we are. Recording yourself will help you see what the audience will see when they watch you. But sometimes this could go wrong. When I used to record myself, I would hate my voice or the way my face would move when I talk, and I feel like that might stop someone from actually public speaking at all. So if you feel like you're better off without it, then I would tell you to skip this step. Number 10, loosen up. When we're focused on getting all of the words right, sometimes we might forget to think about how our body is moving. For example, when I can't remember something, I look up as if I'm trying to search for the words in my head. Or some people might stiffen up or make a fist. Some people might scrunch their face. So try to make everything look as natural as possible, or at least try not to look like you're taking a Number 11, slow down. Don't speed through it. A lot of people, including me, usually start talking really fast when they're nervous while giving a memorized speech. But while you also can't talk super slow, you can't talk super fast either. So try practicing your speech at your normal talking pace. Number 12, pitch and emphasis. Change your pitch and emphasize certain parts. You can't convey that something is important or funny if you're talking in the same tone all throughout your entire speech. And if you sound like you're reading even when you're not reading, then there was no point in you memorizing the speech in the first place. So think about what parts you want to stick with your audience and make sure you change the way you sound during those parts. It makes the biggest difference. Number 13, imagine yourself on stage. Imagine yourself in that position and act out how you would on stage in front of a bunch of people. People usually get nervous when they're put in new situations that they've never seen before. So if you replayed this situation in your head several times, it'll feel really familiar when you're actually on stage, helping you feel much more comfortable. Number 14, avoid making risky jokes. The last thing you want is to make a joke and get no reaction. It will literally break all of your confidence. Don't try too hard to be funny. And don't make any jokes that have no relevance to you. It's like when your teacher tries to make a relatable Gen Z joke and the entire class just stares at her like, why would you ever do that? So, make jokes that actually relate to you, and even when you do, I think the best way to do this is by wording your speech in a funny way instead of actually presenting the joke as a joke. Did that even make sense? The general idea is make very subtle jokes so that it's not obvious. This way, even if you don't get a reaction, it won't be awkward because no one knew it was a joke at all. Number 15, don't doubt yourself. After a point, your speech might start sounding boring to you, but most of the time that's because you're constantly repeating it and you already know what you're gonna say. So that takes away the excitement of listening to it. When someone listens to it for the first time, it'll probably be much more entertaining to them. Number 16, not everyone will like your speech. It's likely that you'll ask several people what they think of your speech before you actually present it. And some people will love it while others don't. You just can never please everyone. Each person enjoys something different. It's pretty much the same as music. So don't be discouraged if a few people don't like your speech. But if it's constructive criticism and it's coming from several people, you might want to listen to it. Number 17, just do it. After you get on stage, honestly, just forget everything and do it. After practicing this much and going through this much effort, it will come to you. Overthinking it will definitely make you forget everything the moment you're on that stage. So breathe, shake it off, and just start talking. The rest will come on its own. Number 18, it'll get better with experience. Public speaking doesn't come naturally to everyone. The more you do it, the more you'll get better at it. So don't get discouraged if your first time doesn't go well, and don't compare yourself to people that have been doing it for a long period of time. Now, if you've actually been diagnosed with anxiety or another disorder that prevents you from being able to public speak, then none of these tips are probably gonna help you. But if you just needed a bit of help, I hope these tips work. They always work for me, and I've been doing this since I was like 4, so I think you could trust me on this one. And that brings me to the end of my video. If you stayed till this point, comment carpet. Make sure you like and subscribe, and I'll see you next Sunday at 12 in another episode of A Little Bit of Everything with Lava. Bye!